A lot of people don't know anything about the rules and the unspoken rules about professional wrestling. Rule number one, if you haven't done anything in this business, don't say anything negative about legends and icons. That will get you buried 6 feet deep. People think Roosh was unprofessional on how he wrestled Jack Perry. And I'm like, no. Jack Perry got exactly what he deserved. It's like, look, you people are soft, man. Like, whoa, man, so soft. People have done that to disrespectful wrestlers for decades before you was born, bitch. Let's talk about Public Enemy versus the APA. And I'm like, I bet you were saying, who are those guys? Yes, hence why I said this has been going on before you was born, bitch. That match is on YouTube. Public Enemy versus the APA. I bet you were saying, why am I bringing up that match? That match is the prime example of Roosh did the right thing. Jack was out of pocket. Jack has done shit in professional wrestling. So from what I've heard from rumors, I heard Roosh beat this guy down because he did not like his Billy Gunn comments. Tony Khan knows what goes on before every match. So obviously he okayed Roosh to whoop this dude's ass. Look, man, Tony Khan is not soft. He does respect the business. He does respect legends. He doesn't want one of his top wrestlers kind of bashing one of his higher producers that are considered a legend. Billy Gunn is a Hall of Famer. He is arguably a top 5 tag team guy of all time. So, look, if you go back, this match was what? I think about 2 weeks ago? Do the math. Let me say it again. This match was 2 weeks ago. So, Jack Perry said something stupid about Billy Gunn 3 weeks ago. Okay, now are you following? This was a punishment for what he said. And I co-sign it. I'm like, why the hell would you say you don't like Billy Gunn's advice, but you rather go to Luchasaurus for advice? Are you insane? What has he done that Billy Gunn has not done? It's like, wow. So, Jack Perry came across as an arrogant dick in that convention. Tony Khan heard it. I feel like Tony Khan punished that guy. He sent Roosh out there to whoop his ass. And I have no problem with it. You know why? I'm like, Roosh, I'm old school. You don't disrespect icons. You don't disrespect legends who are trying to help you. Hence why Jack Perry will never be in NXT. He will never be on Raw or SmackDown. He's too immature. If you don't take Billy Gunn's advice, I'm like, wow. It's like, look, you ain't gotta take everything Billy Gunn says seriously in terms of, okay, maybe you can possibly naysay some stuff he says, but not everything. Like, holy shit, he's trying to help. But to freaking disregard everything Billy says to favor Lucha fucking Saurus? Yes, that's very disrespectful. So I think Tony Khan sent Roosh out there to whoop his ass. I don't think Roosh was unprofessional. Let's talk about Public Enemy versus the APA. That match is on YouTube. Watch it. From what I heard, Public Enemy were assholes backstage. They were cocky, arrogant dicks who thought they were top guys. They were very disrespectful backstage. So this is what happened. Vince McMahon sent the APA to go out there and whoop their ass, to send them a message like, hey, control your fucking ego. Dude, this has been going on before you was born, before I was born. It's like, dude, there's tons and tons of old school stories from the 80s about if you are a dick and an arrogant dickhead backstage and you haven't done shit in this business, trust me, these promoters will teach you a lesson in respect. Right? Dude, do you remember when Braun Strowman got a little bit too physical with Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar punched him in their match. He punched him. That was a real punch. You know why? Because Braun was being too full of himself. Brock wanted to keep him in line, teach him a lesson. I'm sorry, these are the unspoken rules in pro wrestling. Don't be out of pocket. Respect legends, respect icons. Don't be too cocky, arrogant backstage. That's what happened to the Velveteen Dream. He was too cocky, he was too arrogant. That's what got him buried and fired. If Jack Perry was to say those things and he was signed to NXT, this dude would have got buried. He would have got buried and embarrassed on TV. This is what they do when it comes to the WWF. It's like, dude, I love what Roosh did to Jack Perry. It's like, yeah, teach Jack a goddamn lesson. Watch your fucking mouth about icons. Don't say Billy Gunn is too mean. I don't like taking his advice because he's too mean. He says we do too many Canadian destroyers. It's like, wow, that's sound advice. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, look, I've been watching Roosh for the past 4 years. It's like, dog, that's how he wrestles. He's very physical. But at the same time, Roosh likes to stay strong, as he should. It's like, look, Roosh is a very talented guy. It's like he's a multiple-time Ring of Honor world champion. Like, he is a top guy. He knows how good he is. And at the same time, I feel like this was a test to Jack Perry. Are you tough? Tony Khan booked Roosh, who was a very stiff guy, to fight Jack Perry. Dude, this was on purpose, right? Because you are not going to job out Roosh. Roosh is not going to take that. So obviously, Tony Khan booked this match. Why is everybody trying to bury Roosh? Roosh did his job. Tony Khan wanted to send a message to Jack Perry. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't be out of pocket. You haven't done shit in this business to not take Billy Gunn seriously as a trainer and to bash him in an interview. It's like, who is you? Dude, this was a punishment. Tony Khan is very hands-on with every Dynamite show. That's what I heard. Every match, every outcome, he knows everything. He knew Roosh was going to beat the shit out of Jack Perry. Most likely, he sent Roosh out there to beat the shit out of this guy. To teach him a lesson in respect, kid. It's like, people, this guy's young. Jack Perry has been wrestling for what, past 4 years? Maybe? He has not been a wrestler for a long time. So obviously, he don't know how to conduct himself in a public forum. Dude, everybody was burying Jack Perry because Jack Perry was an asshole in the UK. Remember? He was an asshole. But to bury Billy Gunn, to praise Luchasaurus, yeah, that was stupid. Roosh is very old school. You respect legends. Look, man, if you don't have anything good to say about your trainers and your producers, don't say shit at all in a public forum. That will come back to bite you. Tony Khan did this match on purpose to teach him a lesson. So why are you bashing Roosh? Roosh did his fucking job. Right? He did his job. He did what every old school guy does. Let's talk about Andre the Giant. If Andre didn't like you backstage, he was going to beat the shit out of you in his matches. Facts on facts. Look it up. If Andre didn't like you, he was going to fuck you up in his matches. He was going to be stiff if he didn't like you. If he felt like you had no respect backstage, he was going to beat the shit out of you. Same as Rick Rude. If Rick Rude felt like you showed no respect, he was going to beat your ass. Dude, did you know he beat up the Ultimate Warrior backstage because he didn't like how the way the Warrior was acting? So guess what? Rick Rude beat the shit out of the Warrior in the damn locker room with no cameras. Rick Rude was a badass. Like I said, this has been going on before you little kids were born. When somebody shows no respect backstage, yes, you will pay for it. Dude, Brock Lesnar does this all the time. If Brock does not like you backstage, if Brock feels like you are showing no respect, he will disrespect you and he will beat the shit out of you in his matches. Let's talk about Mustafa Ali. Let's talk about Mustafa Ali. Case in point, last week. For years, Ali has been talking shit about how Brock stole his spot in the Money in the Bank. Right? Last week, Brock told Ali, get a life, kid. You know why? Brock has heard everything Ali said for the past 4 or 5 years. That's why Brock told Ali, get a life, kid. That was real. That was a shoot. Brock was not meant to say that to Ali. See what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? See, when you disrespect icons and legends, you will pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That was payback. Every dumb shit Ali says for the past 4 or 5 years about Brock paid him back by burying his ass on live television. By saying, get a life, kid. That was a burial. You know what I'm saying? So, you guys gotta get some balls. I got balls. You have no balls. I respect this business. When you talk shit about legend, you better accept the damn consequences that follows that. This has been going on since WCW. This has been going on since ECW, the Attitude Era. Dude, fucking New Jack has done this, right? If New Jack did not respect you backstage, he was going to beat the shit out of you in his matches. There's a reason why New Jack never wrestled Taz. You know why? Because he said he was not going to put Taz over because he did not like Taz. So I'm giving you facts in a small little lesson in history. So don't say dumb shit saying Roosh was unprofessional. No, he was very professional. Jack was one who was unprofessional, you damn idiots. Nobody does that in the WWF. Nobody disrespects producers in fucking interviews. Like, what? Nobody does that. Dude, that will get you buried by Vince McMahon. That will get you buried by Triple H. So I respect Tony Khan. Dude, I respect what Tony Khan did, man. This dude finally grew some balls. He punished Jack Perry. You know what I'm saying? What he said about Billy Gunn, that was a week before he got his ass whooped by Roosh. So yes, this was a punishment. Roosh did not like what Jack Perry said about Billy Gunn, and Khan also did not like what he said about Billy Gunn, so Khan sent Roosh out there to whoop his ass as punishment. Teach him a lesson. So what Roosh did to Jack Perry, that is called a receipt. I think Wim Regal gave Goldberg a receipt back when they were in WCW. Remember that match? That was a receipt based on how Goldberg was acting backstage. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example. Look, we all knew Jack Perry was not winning that match against Max, Sammy G, and Darby, right? So who cares if Jack did not look strong against Roosh? Like, who cares? That was a lesson. Jack brought that on himself. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't bash all elite wrestling match producers. That's all. Tony Khan taught him a lesson. So lay off Roosh. Roosh did his fucking job. Every guy who's old school knows what I'm talking about. When you act like a jerk backstage and you haven't earned a damn thing in this business, you will get punished. These are facts. No lies here. Facts. They do it down in NXT everywhere. When you don't show respect backstage, you will get punished, homie. Ask LA Knight. Hence why he was a loser when he was in NXT. People did not like how he acted backstage. Now you see where I'm going with this? He was a loser when he was in NXT based on he did not have a good attitude backstage that people did not like. So look it up. Like, bro, this has been going on since the 80s, man. A very, very long time. When you act like a jerk backstage, you will get punished in your matches, or you will get buried somehow, some way. So I feel like hopefully Jack Perry has learned a valuable lesson. He's young, right? So this was good that he got his ass whooped right before his big match at Double or Nothing. This was a learning experience for Jack Perry. That's it. I'm done.